Thank you for jumping on this call live today here with Stacey Marie and I. And for those of you who are watching this on a replay, congratulations, because this is where you're going to get all your information about Olylife tech. And of course, this is the way we interpret how we are using Olylife technology. But Stacey's going to go over a better disclaimer. Stacey's been using these machines with so many people globally for over 3 years now. So she's become very much a pro. So Stace, I am going to hand it over to you. Thank you so much for joining the call.
Thank you so much, Tracey. Thank you for having me. I think it's great that tonight, in light of the fact that we have a lot of new faces that wanted to attend, that we would go over all of the amazing devices one by one and really explain to people how they work, because that's a common question is, does it work for this? Does it work for that? And I want to give an explanation to people on how each device works so that they understand how the tech applies to the body as a whole. And so that's really the gist of this call. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. So disclaimer, everything that we discuss here tonight is not intended to replace any type of medical advice. If you have any questions about your health or your condition currently and whether this would fit into your program, you need to talk to your physician. Also, anything we say on this call that you are not sure of and you want to verify with Olylife, feel free to email them with any of the instructions that I will be talking about tonight as far as how to use the devices, pacing, and so forth. So without further ado, I wanted to start with our flagship product, which is the P90 and the P90 Plus. We started with the P90, but the P90 Plus came later, but they're similar machines, so I wanted to discuss those together. Tracey, do you have a picture of those you can put up for me? And what happens when you put your feet on those plates is you're going to be receiving a couple of different frequency pulses. One of them is PEMF and the other one is terahertz. So PEMF is pulsed electromagnetic field therapy. That is basically, I like to put it in terms you can understand, the charge from the earth. So we're supposed to be outside getting all kinds of electrical voltage from the earth, hands in the dirt, feet in the dirt, but we don't do that anymore. And so we do have to replace that signal that we're supposed to be getting from the earth, and that is what PEMF does. The secondary technology that is included with the PEMF is the terahertz frequency. So terahertz is a secondary frequency that goes in, and wherever the PEMF cannot get to, the terahertz can, because it's a much smaller wavelength. And the beauty of that is that when the terahertz goes into the tissues, into the blood, into the hydration of the body, it's going to get into what we call the microcapillaries of the body. So the really tiny microscopic circulation areas that the PEMF cannot reach, the terahertz can. And that's why this combination is so powerful, because when you pair those two together and the whole entire body is receiving that signal, you're going to be increasing your oxygenation of the blood. You're going to be increasing your circulation. You're going to be increasing your oxygenation. Did I say that already? You're going to be increasing your absorption of nutrients from the food you eat, from the water you drink, from the supplements you take. You're going to be increasing the body's overall voltage. And that's super important because you've probably heard of a thing called ATP. And the body cannot produce enough ATP to get your cells to do what they're supposed to do without the proper electricity voltage in the body. So that is our base model. So this is the plus model. Now, the difference between this model and the P90 is basically, it's just a lot nicer, and it has a little bit different setup as far as you go with the sessions. The sessions are shorter and the sessions are actually more powerful. It's actually a little bit different delivery system that they developed with this particular device, but you're still getting the PEMF and the terahertz. Now this machine, it actually, when you place your feet on it, it comes on, but it has like a feature that actually it won't come on until you place your feet on it. And if you take your feet off, it turns back off and stuff. So it has a couple extra safety features that the first one did not. And it also comes with these two attachments, which you can see the one with the claw on it. That is the massage attachment. It has the red light, it has EMS, it has radio frequency, it has vibration, and that is to do particular spots on the body. So the devices do the entire body at once. But if you need targeted sessions, like you have a knee injury or you sprained your ankle or you have a knot in your shoulder, that's where that little claw device will come in, and you can do actual focused treatments with that attachment. The other attachment is the Frost Age Beauty device, and you'll see that that's flat on the head. That is for the beauty stuff, ladies. That is for your wrinkles. That is for fine lines. That is for producing collagen in the skin. So that is a little flat head. It contains radio frequency, which is basically heat. So you use that and heat up the skin. And then the other frequency in it is EMS, so electrical muscle stimulation. So what it's going to do is it's going to go in and stimulate the muscles of the skin in the face or wherever you choose to use it. You can actually use it anywhere on your body where you want to do some improvement or tightening. And when you do those little micro contractions with that attachment, what happens is the body starts to look at it as, oh, we're in danger. So it starts to produce collagen. So over the course of about 3 or 4 weeks, using that device, you'll see extreme changes in your skin because it's going to be producing collagen naturally just from electric stimulation. So that tool is really cool, ladies. I did some research on it recently. If you've got a double chin, it works excellent on double chins. 3 or 4 weeks, you'll see a difference and a change in the fat that deposits under your chin. So look that up. It's really, really cool. But the thing I wanted to go over about these two devices is that when you're sitting on these and you have your feet planted, you're actually creating a biomagnetic field around the entire body. And so you're sitting inside of that biomagnetic field, and that's what raises your voltage. Okay. So keep that in mind because now we're going to talk about another device. There we go. Okay. So before frequency took over the market and, everything was kind of just exploded with the P90, this little guy right here was actually an unsung hero. This is the Vitality Wand. Now, the biomagnetic field that I was talking about with the 2-foot devices, you're actually creating a biomagnetic field with this device as well. But the difference is it's only coming out of that tip that you see, that silver tip. So this device works a little differently. It's also a little bit more budget friendly. If you have budget constraints and can't get the foot plate, this is a great stand-in. So this machine works by blowing out air. Actually, people are usually confused because when they see videos of it, they're like, is that a blow dryer? It actually does work like a blow dryer. It seems like it's a blow dryer, but there's a lot more magic happening than that. So out of the tip, it will blow the PEMF and terahertz frequencies, that biomagnetic field, but it's a tiny one. So you have to put it on your body wherever you want to target that biomagnetic field. So whereas the P90, you're sitting in the entire biomagnetic field all together, your whole body, this does targeted points, but you still get the frequency in those areas. You just have to use it in a certain order. So I'll go over quickly how to use it. If you've got one and you're like, I have no clue to how to really use this. It works with the lymphatic system. So because you're not sitting in the biomagnetic field like you do with the P90, you actually have to point it and kind of tell your body what to do with that little tiny biomagnetic field. And you do that by, when you get your wand out, you will want to do the bottoms of your feet for 30 seconds each, the back of your knees for 30 seconds each, the inside of your elbows for 30 seconds each, under your armpits for 30 seconds each, and then the top of your head for 30 seconds. And what that does is it gets your lymphatic flowing, it gets your circulation increased, and it gets everything kind of moving and boogieing. Then after that, you can point that wand wherever you would like to on the body, and you're going to receive that frequency. Now, a really cool thing, and this is what I use my wand for because obviously I have a P90, but nobody can take the place of charged water. So this magical little device, you can actually take any container of water, whether it's a bathtub, whether it's a gallon jug, whether it's a mug of water, any type of liquid-based foods like soups, you can actually charge it and put the frequency into that thing that you're about to consume. And the cool thing about charged water and charged liquids is that when you put that frequency into the water molecules are usually like a cluster of grapes, right? The water molecules then from the frequency, they turn into a linear structure. Now, why would that make a difference? That's because in a linear shape, they jump right into the cell. So you get massive amounts of hydration compared to regular water. And when you get proper hydration, guess what? The body remembers how to do detox. It remembers how to clear its own pathways. You'll see people that had struggled for years with constipation. They drink some charged water, they can go all of a sudden. And it's because that frequency, that terahertz I talked about, that little tiny microscopic area in your body that nothing else can get to, charged water can get to. So that's a really cool feature of having a Vitality Wand. What is next? So the Galaxy goggles, you guys are going to notice a running theme with all of our devices, and that's that they all have PEMF. Okay, so we are a pulsed electromagnetic field company. All of our devices usually have it mixed in some way. So this device is actually one that is made specifically for the eye area. So this is to support any type of eye conditions, dry eye, allergies, glaucoma, poor eyesight, eye fatigue. I get a lot of eye strain from my devices. This is what I use to keep me from not being able to see every day, because anybody who works on devices knows that all day working on them is really hard on your eyes. So I use this twice a day to keep mine in shape. This has got PEMF, it's got airbag massage, it has pulsing massage, it has radio frequency heat, it has a full gamut of different programming that you can do on. I think it's 7 different functions. I always use the full function because I want everything. I want everything all at once. But the things that people report with that is improved eyesight. I have people that have had migraines for years use this and report that they have them no longer. So this is just focused on the eyes. But again, that biomagnetic field is where the magic is, because it's what gets things opened up. It's what teaches your cells how to operate again with the proper voltage. What's next, Tracey? The Shaken. So this is actually one that was just launched recently, and this is targeted for your tummy. It is meant to actually help burn up visceral fat, and it has, again, PEMF. It's got the heat. It's got massage. All of those functions together. But the coolest thing that they added to the Shaken is something called ultrasound cavitation. Ultrasound cavitation, if you want to Google it, is a special type of frequency that goes in and busts up fat cells. So this device was actually designed to target visceral fat. Everybody holds a lot of fat around their belly, it seems, these days. Well, if you see that fat on the outside, that usually means you have fat on the organs on the inside. And that's what this device is really good at helping clear, is that visceral fat that nobody can see. And so when users use this, we see things like their waistline getting smaller. We've seen people that have testimonials about their fatty liver clearing up, things like that. And then I've also seen testimonials where people who've had IBS or gut issues or constipation issues, they also have great success with this, because you're giving a direct connection, direct biomagnetic field to that gut area. So it's supportive of digestion, it's supportive of removing visceral fat, it's supportive of burning more calories when you use it twice a day, and it's just amazing. I know that Tracey loves hers. She always has hers on, don't you? Seems like every time I saw you on our trip, you always had it on.
I go everywhere with my shaken, in the car, in the plane. I've just
Yep.
dropped my second shaken off. My daughter-in-law to be rang last night and she had pains in the tummy. So off I trot last night at 10 p.m. to deliver the shaken. Yeah, it's definitely a favorite around here.
That's awesome. Yeah, and see, I don't have one yet. I don't know that it would even fit me. That's why I haven't ordered. Let's just be honest. I'm a big girl, so I haven't even tried it yet. But Tracey, what does it feel like? What do people feel when they use it? Because I don't know firsthand.
A lot of people describe it as a warm hug, and I know that sounds maybe a little bit corny, but it's sort of that on steroids. I've had it with me with Stace, and I don't know how many times we said, "Yeah, I'll go grab the shaken," and can you believe she didn't get to try it? But I've said to her a number of times, "Yes, it will fit you, and you're absolutely going to love it." It's very warm on the tummy. The red light therapy, obviously, you don't feel, but you can see it. You can
Right.
see the red lights in the back of the device in its little circle penetration points. And it also
Mm-hmm.
vibrates quite a lot. In fact, when you're on the phone and you've got it on and you forget you've got it on, people are going to ask, what is that noise? Yeah, so the warmth and the vibration. And of course, it's doing all the magic things that we can't necessarily feel, but it does get
Right.
things moving
Right.
along. I know Kirstyn loves to use hers. Would you like to share as well, Kirstyn, if you're near your mic button as well without any warning?
Yeah, I love the I just love the shaken. I find that it's great for those that have, bowel transit sluggishness. It really helps move things along, so it keeps the stations clear. I find that, I recently went on a cruise, took it with me because, cruise food can kind of be very different to what you eat at home. I did not have a transit problem at all. It was so good.
Nice. That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, and like I used to, I don't know whether other people do get this too, like get a bit of toilet anxiety, when you're somewhere different and you kind of hang on a bit
Oh
longer
yeah.
than you should. So
Yep.
yeah, none of that. I don't have, any of that issue now. It's just a, smooth exit. A lot of our team have reported the same thing, which is amazing. And it's just very soothing, as Trace said, for any of those, tummy pains or anything like that. And I find, when I use it, it's usually within an hour, two tops, that I'm not going, to the bathroom. Amazing for just back pain as well. So you turn it around off your tummy. So you've got lower back issues, I find it's very soothing there, and really, yeah, helps with a lot of that ache and pain that you can get in that lower back, especially if you've been, bending up and down all day, or carrying stuff. Your back gets a little bit beat about with the older you get. So it's really,
Yeah.
I love it. I won't travel without my shaken and my goggles as a minimum. If I'm going, international or domestic, doesn't matter. I'll take those as a minimum. Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll order it. You've
Ah,
convinced me.
come on, Stacey, you can get it, and I'm
Today,
sure it'll fit. Not a
today.
problem.
All right, fine, fine. I'll order it. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate that because again, I haven't used it, so I can talk about the tech and all that, but I haven't experienced it. But I wanted to ask you about how it felt physically because I wanted to touch on a point with our other devices that I've already talked about. And that is that with the P90, P90 Plus, and wand, you're really not, I mean, the wand, you're going to feel the air blowing or whatever, but the P90 and P90 Plus specifically, when you have your feet parked on there and you're doing a session, a lot of people will want to crank the machine up because they're not feeling anything. But the thing is, a biomagnetic field by itself, you're not going to feel. The reason that you feel the shaken is because it has other things. It has radio frequency, it has the massage, all that stuff. The P90s do not. It's literally just plant your feet on there and then the biomagnetic field starts to generate around you and you're not going to feel anything. Please don't ever level your machine up to try to feel something, because what you're doing with the P90 and P90 Plus when you do that is you're basically sucker punching the electrical system. You're sucker punching the nervous system, and it can be very uncomfortable. It can cause a lot of cascade of detox symptoms. It can cause symptoms that you were trying to get rid of to be worse, especially if you have a lot of inflammation or pain. So just a precaution, it's not meant to be felt, the P90 and P90 Plus. Now, the P90 Plus attachments you will feel, but the plates, the foot plates themselves, you really can't feel a tangible feeling from them. And that's a good thing, because if you do feel something, that means you need to slow down or do less time, or, so everybody should start on a 1 and just listen to their bodies, especially on those foot plates. Yeah, I preach it all the time. Don't crank it up, don't crank it up, don't crank it up.
That's right.
And that's not because I don't think you're going to get to those levels in the future, but your body has to adapt to that signal over time. Electrical therapies work directly with your central nervous system, and every single piece of your body has a piece of central nervous system tethered to it. It's like a big string puppet if you've ever looked at one dissected. So you definitely are doing a lot of work talking to that nervous system all at once. It's your whole body at once. So just be careful, take precaution there. So the A9, if you're watching this in July of 2026, make sure you reach out to your distributor, the person who invited you to this, because we are running a promotion where you get this device for free. It is a $550 US dollar value. I'm sorry, Tracey, I don't know the Australian dollars. But that is a free gift that you're going to get this month. And why would you want this? You would want this because, first of all, it's $550 normally. And there's a reason it's cost that much. It's because it's amazing technology. This thing puts out millions of negative ions. And you're like, well, Stacey, what's a negative ion? Negative ions. I want you to think of walking through the forest, walking next to a waterfall, the way the air smells after a thunderstorm. Those are negative ions. That smell that you smell in the air is actually a natural occurrence. This machine replicates nature in your home. And why is that important? Well, I touched on that earlier because we are not connected with the outside like we should be. We're not out in nature like we should be. We're not touching the dirt. We're not breathing in the ions. We're not doing any of that stuff. We spend so much of our time inside that we do need to replicate these things to have homeostasis, which is what everybody wants in their body, right? That means completely healthy, everything's running as it should, right? Well, our body gets signals from all of those things outside that we're not getting. And this little wonderful machine, if you put it next to your bed, it's like you're breathing in waterfall air all night while you're sleeping. And the benefits that you see with that is reduced histamine response, better sleep. Allergens in the home will actually go into this device because the ions attach to them and make the particulates heavier. So they fall into the HEPA filter because it also has a HEPA filter. And the room and the air just becomes fresher. I have one in my bedroom and the room feels kind of like cooler, but it smells fresher. It's so hard to describe, but it's amazing. It's excellent. I've had a client that uses one in her office because they have a mold contamination problem in her building, and she was just miserable going to work every day. She now has this in her office and is not getting any of the symptoms that she was from that mold exposure. So it's incredibly helpful to the histamine response, if you're familiar with that, because it keeps a bunch of those contaminants out of the air. And it's because those negative ions make those particulates and things that set us off heavier, and it sucks them in. It also has a mosquito function. It will repel mosquitoes. You can take this out on your back patio and put it on the mosquito function and you will not get ate up. Same reason that you see out in nature. If you're closer to the water, the mosquitoes tend to be gone because they're not attracted to moving water. They're attracted to stagnant water. So they think this is moving water, so they stay away. It's also got like white noise sounds, so waterfall, raindrops, ocean waves, all of those things. It also has some nice like ambient music that you can put on. It has several different light modes. It comes with an app that you can go in and set it up and make it do all kinds of fancy stuff. So it's an excellent device on its own, but this month, July 2026, it is free. So if you are ordering anything over $1,000, the P90, the P90 Plus, or if you wanted to get your goggles and a wand or whatever, you will get one of these free for every $1,000 you spend. 1,000 US dollars.
I love that. Thank you, Stace. I have a few of these on the way. I'm excited. I've got the Christmas tree in mind for a couple of the spare ones because I had quite the wish list. And now with your shaken, you'll have one on the way too.
I know. I'm like, well, it wouldn't hurt to have a couple more of those. Maybe I should order some. You know what I mean? How we do during promo, we're like, maybe I'll just fill up my whole cart because, it's free stuff, of course. But what's really cool about these is when you look into the negative ion research, is there's these things called blue zones. A lot of people have heard of those. There's a documentary on Netflix about them, but blue zones are the places in the world where people live the longest. And they were trying to figure out why, in these little clusters of places, why are these people living so much longer, like over 100 years old and in good health, like not a whole bunch of health problems, right? So they found that in these blue zones, the concentration of negative ions in the air was super high. So it's just adding time to your life to breathe that in as well. So I think that's super cool. If you're not familiar with blue zones, I recommend going down that rabbit hole because that's exactly what this device is doing, is giving you that same, it's replicating that environment of just like you're living in a blue zone. I don't know who can afford to move to a blue zone, but it would be nice, but I can't right now. So this is a great stand-in.
Stace, could you just cover off on with the A9 that we need an app and just as to why and what benefits that does using the app as well in conjunction?
Sure. Well, actually, you can use it without the app. The buttons on the front, you can just do it with the buttons on the front, but it opens up more features when you go through the app. So there's more lighting settings, there's more sounds and stuff like that. So the base, like on the front, it has just kind of like basic stuff. But in the app, you can actually expand that more sounds, more modes, more lights, all of that. But you don't have to have the app to operate it.
Thank you very much.
Kirstyn has had hers on in her home for quite a while, haven't you, Kirst, every day?
Yeah, it just goes all the time, non-stop.
Yep.
And I didn't
Sometimes,
realize there was an app because I didn't read the booklet very well.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm here for. No, yeah, there's definitely an app. It's very cool. It actually it makes it easier to operate because that's the thing too is I run mine in my bedroom, so I turn it off. I turn it off when I'm not in my bedroom, just because
Yeah,
I don't want to put the wear and tear on it. But if it was
yeah,
like in my office or my main part of my house, I would run it all day.
yeah, yeah. And it is in our lounge. I probably do need
Yeah,
another one for the bedroom, so
That's
yeah.
a good
Maybe I'll buy
right.
excuse.
two more A9s and get one free. Who knows?
Yeah, there you
Might
go.
be.
I've had
Yeah,
someone
it's,
do
I mean,
that.
go ahead. What'd you say?
Sorry, Stacey. I said I've had someone do that this week, buy two to get the
Hmm.
third one free.
Yeah,
Yep,
that makes sense. So you have
yep, they
one in the
absolutely can.
office.
And it's yeah,
Mm,
because it does every single device does about a 10 by 12 room. So a 10-foot by 12-foot room. So yeah, you do need one. Unfortunately, if you have a bigger rolling house, you really need to have one in every 10 feet or so to get it to fully concentrate. But that's why I say if you can only pick one room to put it in your bedroom because then you're literally in there consistently breathing that in all night. And so that's how you're going to get the biggest, heaviest hit of it.
I love that. Stace, can you touch on the filters? It's a big question right now because we're all about to have our brand new filters land and brand new air filters land, and we have to change the filters internally sometimes. Can you go into that?
Right. So you'll want to reach out to Olylife directly. They will give you email instructions on how to do it. They do it through the shopping wallet in the back office, the one that we usually can't touch because we're not in Asia. They do it through there. So the filters are in their Ollie Mall store and they'll show you how to put it in. And I think you just put a little bit of your bonus wallet money into your e-coins to cover the shipping. And that's it.
I love it. Thanks, Stace. So do you think we should flash up the prices of all the products?
Yeah, we can do that.
We've got some drawing on the screen. I'm just not sure how to take that off. Um,
you,
Disregard.
you're, you
What one of
performed
our
you
guests has
performed magic.
bumped that.
All right. So yeah, the shake and massager is 1,000 US dollars and it's plus 10% for shipping and handling. So that puts it at 1,100 US dollars. What is that in Aussie dollars? I don't know.
It's about 1,535, depending on the day. It depends what's happening in America, but around 1,550.
Okay, awesome. All right. So P90 base model, same price. It's going to be the same thing. Let's do this next. So the P90 Plus is a little bit more expensive, and that's because it has those attachments. It's also because it goes from 1 to 20 levels instead of 10, and because it has a wireless remote, it has bigger foot plates. It's just a much nicer machine, much nicer unit. Anybody that's watching this that's a practitioner, I recommend that unit. That is 1,500 US dollars, so 1,650 after shipping. What is that in Aussie dollars?
2,300-ish.
Okay, Roger that.
Yep. I always say well worth the extra.
Yeah, I do love mine. I wish I had upgraded sooner. I do love mine.
Here's the
All
price of
right,
the
and then the P9.
P90.
Oh, sorry. The P90 is the same as the Shake, and so it's $1,100 US shipped. And that one again, 1 through 10 levels instead of 20 and 30-minute sessions instead of 20-minute sessions like the Plus.
And here's our one.
Yep, the Vitality one. So anybody watching this that already has the P90 and they really want to try the Bomber Air and they want to get the free gift, I recommend if you don't have goggles and a wand, do goggles and a wand. You'll thank me later. Ladies, if you get a wand, also I forgot to mention this, it is amazing for blow drying your hair. I have plenty of women who have their hair growing back from just using it as a blow dryer. It also works amazingly on things like spider veins and varicose veins. You can do targeted treatments there. It works really well on age spots. All kinds of beauty stuff that you can do with it, which I forgot to touch on. So the Vitality wand is $660 shipped US dollars. How much that is that in Aussie?
Um, no, around 900-ish.
Okay. All right.
The thing I love about the
Yeah.
Vitality one, Stace, is it's got cool feature as well. So it's not just warm air. So you can have a cool, if you want to do your face, for
Mm-hmm.
example, that's what I love about it and cool it down.
Yep. That's what I do with mine is use it on my face on the cool setting. It's so awesome, especially right now because it's so hot. So hot.
Rub it in because we're sitting here all freezing today in Australia. Literally,
I'm sorry about
I just took my scarf off and it's in the house.
Oh man. Yeah, I wish. It's not, it's very hot here. It's like it was in the DR. It's very hot.
And here's the price of the Galaxy One.
Yeah, the Galaxy G1, the goggles, so those are the ones that go over your eyes. Those are $550 shipped. And again, if you combine, you can get two goggles and get a free A9. You can do goggles and a wand to get free A9. So anything over $1,000, you will get that free gift just July 2026.
Thanks, Stace. And just a reminder, I did find the picture after all. This one, you guys have seen this in the group. Please keep it handy. It doesn't hurt to share this on not overkill, but on a regular-ish basis in your groups, wherever you are helping other people build businesses, maybe with Olylife, or if you have a naughty client that says, my feet are really warm after I get off. I'm just moved up to number 6. Then bang, send them this. It has to be loud and
Yes.
clear.
And I just want to point out, you mentioned the warmth. So if you do feel warmth on your P90 or P90 plus, um, a little bit of warmth is okay, like slight warmth. We're talking just a baby amount. But if you feel any type of intense warmth, that means you need to do a lesser amount of time. And the reason that I'm saying that is because when you feel the warmth, that means that the charge that the machine is trying to give you is stagnating. It's not going where it needs to go in the body. So that's your signal that that's your stopping point. So pay attention to the heat. Um, if you feel any heat, just stop where you're at, take a note of the time, do that same amount of time the next day. And you want to stay there until you don't feel that heat before you do extra time or move up a level, for example. But yeah, that exactly as that graphic shows, it can overwhelm your nervous system. You can give your body too much data that it can't process, and it can cause things to go haywire, especially in detox symptoms. So we don't want that. We want you to have a very lovely experience with your devices. We don't want anybody not liking your devices because you had a bad experience, which can happen. Especially my male clients, I will say they're my most stubborn. I've told them over and over again, do not crank it up, do not crank it up. But it's like an ego thing, maybe. And they'll crank it up and then they'll call me miserable. I'm all locked up. My knees are locked up. Well, what level did you do, honey? A level 7. What did I tell you? You know what I mean? So they learn the hard way, usually my male clients, but my women, they usually listen. They don't want to be in pain. So, yeah.
It's an unusual technology to work with, Stace, because I know
Mm-hmm.
myself over the years with nutrients and nutrition and, vitamins or any of those things. If I had a really not well day or a not well week, I would increase it. I would self-medicate and increase. If I have more, it's going to happen quicker. And this is absolutely the opposite. The more stress,
Yep.
the more tightly wound your nervous system is or under pressure your body is, then the slower we have to come in. So it
Yes.
does take a little bit of retraining of our human brains of quick fix. There's no such thing when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to frequency.
No, it is something that your body has to adapt to over time. It's also cumulative in the body as it learns that signal and your cells learn to operate with that signal. Everything's relearning, reteaching all the time. So patience and pacing is the most important thing. Also, make sure you're drinking plenty of water and make sure that if you do not have minerals in your water source, like if you're not on a well or whatever, make sure you're adding minerals. Minerals are super important. Minerals are the conductors of the electronic orchestra in your body. So lack of minerals could also be why you're feeling heat. So make sure those things are always in place before you hop on.
I love that. Thanks, Stace. Kirst, are you there? Would you like to give one tip? I've got a tip in mind. I'll go first while you guys think about it. Often people ask me, which is the best machine do I start with? And I always say the same thing. we are actually designed to receive frequency charge voltage from the earth through our feet. That is for me, the natural place to start. And the other ones then become like the cherry on top or the extras. It's just me. Everybody may have a different idea, but we have pressure points on our feet. It's where it's how we ground, isn't it? Naturally, we get out barefoot on the ground and we absorb up the feet. So starting with either one of the foot machines, yes, the P90 Plus is bigger, better, and you need to sit on it for less time than the P90. But the P90 was what I started with. And for me, who's traveling in planes and da 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 da, I prefer the P90 because I can take it everywhere with me and it can go on carry on. You can just throw it up on in the plane, which is a little bit more difficult with the Plus. So that depends on you and your lifestyle. But that's my tip. Kirst, what would you like to add out of
When
everything?
I got my machines, I started with the P90 Plus because that's just kind of the person I am. If there's something bigger and better, I'll go with that. But I really saw great value in that. I also had the goggles at the same time, so I started with those. Because I saw the value in the little handheld devices as well to utilize those for spot treatments. Um, and I do enjoy those when I remember to do it. I get a bit lazy, but anyway, I can always put my feet on the plates for 20 minutes. I can do that without getting bored. 30 minutes really took
Mhm.
my little ADHD brain to a level of get me off this, I've got to do things, right? So
Imagine
20
Stacey
minutes.
and imagine Stacey and I struggle.
I know.
My God,
And then
it's just
because
20 minutes. It's just 30 minutes. But yeah, it's hard. I
yeah,
have the
it
same
is.
thing. I like having that extra 10 minutes.
Yeah. So it is a bit tricky. I have pretty much all the products now, and I'm finding them all amazing. So it depending on each person's unique needs, because we all are unique. Um, we talk to the person who you're working with, who's invited you, so that they can really help you get what's best for you at the time. Yeah, because I myself, I bought the product, and then I had a week later I had a heart attack, a massive heart attack. So I didn't use the product until 3 weeks later, or 4 weeks later, I think it was, whenever it came. So I was out of hospital and using it. So I went very, very low and very slow, and I still am on a 1 or a 2. So, and that's
Yes,
10 months, 10 months. So
it's awesome.
so
Yep.
yeah, but I'd recommend people to just really take it easy, because I'm in a really good physical um shape now in like what I can do, whereas what I couldn't do, like post heart attack really early, I was really breathless and I had a whole lot of things going on. But now I'm walking further than I was. It's all comes together. So be patient is the other thing. Like, it's not going to happen. If you go and trial someone's machine, don't think you're going to be walking on water the next day. It's not it's not like that. You've got to be consistent over time, and invest in yourself that time to help your body to rebalance and recalibrate. That would be my tips.
Love it. Stace,
Yes.
throw in some sort of a little, I don't know, a
Oh, let's
testimonial or
see.
a tip where people should start. I know you love them all.
Well, here's the thing is everybody always, the number one question I get asked is, does it work for dot, dot, dot? Does it work for blank? Right? And my answer is it works for everything because your electrical system, your central nervous system is the largest puppeteer in your body. And if it ain't happy, ain't nothing else downstream of that going to be happy. And unfortunately, the environment that we're all in, inside all day, on our devices, stress, that is horrible for the nervous system. So if I could encourage anyone to try it, even if you're well, even if you don't have symptoms, it's still going to benefit you. I promise you, you do not understand how your body is supposed to feel until you get your voltage where it should be. And then you realize, oh my gosh, I was running around in survival mode my whole life, didn't even realize it. And we're survivalists. That's how we're designed. So we push it off, we put it in the back of our heads. And we're like, we just get used to it. We think it's normal until you try frequency. And then you're kind of mad. You're like, is this really how I was supposed to feel my whole life? Steady energy and good sleep and all the things, clear white eyes, all that stuff that we don't experience because we just adapted to it. I think it's normal. So when somebody asks me, does it help for this? Yes, it supports the body as a whole, and it supports every condition under the sun because it's going to help that electrical system come back into syncopation.
I love it. Thanks, Stace. And talking about the sleep, one more thing. I used to think, what, 8 hours, 10 hours? Are you lazy? I would literally think that about people. Now I
Yes.
know it is normal. My first night, boom, 10 hours sleep. It may not happen on your first night, guys, those of you who are overachievers and busy, 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 but it will shift. And now I'm setting alarms still, and I'm nearly a year in, but I still have to set an alarm if something's important. If I've had really good quality, synchronized frequency, by that I mean no devices in my hand, sitting there lovely where you really drink it because that varies too. Your session, doesn't it, Stace?
Mhm.
If you're just stopped and
Yep.
focused on what's happening almost in a meditative state, then you're going to get a better result than this and on the phone and and thinking a million miles an hour about what you're going to do next. So be conscious of your time on your machine because you will get to a point where no one's going to mess with your machine time. You will take it.
Hmm.
You will.
Yes, you will. And that's the thing too, is that we're tempted, you and I are both guilty of this, of getting on our phones while we're on there. Maybe sometimes I've had my laptop on my lap. And that's just out of a need of time. I'm just always busy. I always have something going on. But that actually detracts from the benefits of the machine. Anything that you bring in that's an electronic device will pull away from that overall biomagnetic field. And who wants to do that? I want to get my full benefit of my 20 minutes. Or 30 minutes if you have a P90. So I recommend make that your you time. Put your phone down, lean your head back, close your eyes, and really feel what's happening, the magic, because sitting in that uninterrupted biomagnetic field is just amazing. Your body comes into such a resonance. I love it.
I love it too. And thank you. Thank you, Stace. I could listen to you all day. You just speak like magic about these machines, and we're so grateful for you. And Kirst, so grateful for you as well with all of your wisdom. We're so pleased that you're back on track after your heart did a little ticker that day. You're amazing. She's just bought herself a new push bike and everything. She's living her best life
Oh,
in
that's awesome.
Queensland in Australia. Yeah, so thanks, Kirst. Thanks, Stace. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Amazing numbers today. And this video will be up on YouTube and the link placed into groups everywhere for you to use at your own leisure. So thank you, everybody, for your support. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.